We had two garage managers retire basically the same day, but definitely part of the same week. There's symmetry here. If you don't know, Kim Fleming retired, but her last day working was Wednesday. She was hired 3/3/86. Bobby was hired 7/7/97. I feel like I want to break out in the time song. But the number of people in this building right now, it seems like an old pullout in 2014 from Haywood.
Yeah.
And all the people that are in the garage to celebrate Bobby today. Bobby and I have very similar backgrounds. He started in TIC, I started in TIC. He moved his schedule to Slay after that. I did the same thing. He went on the street, I went to the control center. I couldn't do the street, too cold here. And then we were both ATMs together, 6 years at Haywood.
That was awesome.
That was maybe one of the craziest times in my life.
It was.
It was an interesting team for sure. I got to know Bobby very well then. I'm gonna tell one story about Bobby. He's insane. He needed to have surgery on his eyes. His doctor told him one eye at a time. This is the dedication of Bobby. He did them both at the same time. He could have been blind. You know what one of them? Who makes that decision? That's the real question. Who makes that decision? Trying to get back to work. But that's who Bobby is. Bobby loves this job. He loves working here. He loves the people he works with. I want to say that I am very, very happy to have worked with you all these years. I am very happy that you're getting out of here on good terms. I want to thank you for every day that we spent together in Haywood Garage. It was interesting. It was fun. It was funny. There's stories I can't tell.
Exactly.
Nothing really bad, just misunderstanding. One really big misunderstanding. Ask me later. I still can't tell you. Maybe off property.
Off property is the only way.
In any case, I want to congratulate you on 27 years of service to Metro Transit, to our customers, to the many of these operators, dispatchers, and coordinators and instructors here. They turned out to thank you for what you've done for them. You made an impression on people's lives. You made an impression on my life. We became really good friends. The thing that I really want to impress upon everybody here is that this man is a wonderful person, number one. He has dedicated his career here at Metro Transit to serving people, and he's made a bunch of friends, as you can see. So, congratulations, Bobby. We're turning into your family now, and you don't get to go leave it without making a speech. But before I do that, we'll be retiring pocket schedule number 3585. So this route is now out of service. And if you don't know, now everybody gets a very similar number. These 33,000 numbers are dedicated to people who were not in operations. I'm 3511. Speech.
I can honestly say I'm floored at how many people. I was not expecting this big of a turnout. I've known many of you in my life. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Thanks, Mark, where you heard. Mark, thank you for helping me. I've worked with all of you. Everyone looks forward to retirement, and I have two, like, the the last 2 days were probably the hardest days of my life. I had many hours come to my office, start crying, and then I start crying, and then they leave, and another operator comes in, and then another, and another. And I didn't realize how hard this was going to be, and it is. And then I see all these people that are coming back. The people that are coming back from retirement, the people that affected my life. Sorry.
You're retired now, doesn't it? I'm giving other people opportunity to come up. I'm sure that many people want to say something. First person up.
So as Bobby opens this, go ahead, open it. I went to Reuter because I wanted to get safety key certification. As soon as I walk into the door, Bobby says, "Go home to Haywood, you're not going to like it here." 10 weeks later, I was back at Haywood because he was absolutely right. He knew I needed that high. That high, the busier environment. So, Bobby, go ahead and show him the picture. So during my OJE, I learned a bad habit of putting my feet on the desk with another manager, and I came back to Haywood and would put my feet on the desk. And every time Bobby would come into instruction, he's like, "Vanessa, put your feet on, put it on the floor, put them on the floor." One day he walked in and he's like, "Vanessa, put your feet on the floor." I said, "I'm not on the clock." And I just had them on there. 2 weeks ago, I sent him an email with my feet up on the desk.
With this picture.
So, here's a token, something to remember me by. It's my feet, not my face, my feet. And he's always been there for me as an instruction during my OJE, as well as working my way up through the company, and I appreciate it.
Usually don't speak in a microphone, but after COVID, it got really rough at Haywood. Bobby comes back to be the manager of the garage, and he knew a lot of the managers or assistant managers would like to get me in trouble, so they kind of tried. He comes to me and goes, "Ginny, come with me. We'll know you're protected again."
This could be hard.
I've known you for a long time, and I've seen you grow. And Kim, first of all, I want to apologize for not getting sooner because I would have loved to get up and have a chance to speak with you. So I'm sorry I missed that. But I did get here early enough for you, Bob. You said something earlier that really shows who you are, which is humility. You're surprised that there's so many people coming to your retirement piece of it. I don't know why you should be surprised, because the amount of people that you've touched in your life when you're here. I have watched you grow. My time with you started really, I saw you in street operations and then moved into the garages. And you and I had plenty of conversations.
Conversations.
They were good conversations. They were always good coaching conversations. But I've seen you grow into a tremendous manager. I think that I can thank you from myself for the things that you brought to me. You certainly, I know you still are, but you were part of the teams that we had, a critical part of it. Because what I really appreciated was, the honesty, the integrity you brought, but the perspective. You weren't afraid to tell me no, and but that was okay because I was looking for a different perspective in the wisdom you had, and the experiences you had, and the perspective you brought me. I listened to that a bunch as well, and I really appreciated that. Having a little mistake. Congratulations on your retirement, and I think that everybody here is really a testament of who you are and what you've done for everybody here at Andress.
Thank you. get working.
I have to tell you, I did that because I shirked my responsibility.
Wait a second. Nonetheless, he challenged me, allowed me to take this one on. We got to day one, 99% functional. We had no TVs, which was not anything that was major, and we had one wall of outlets that didn't work. On day one, minute one, it was amazing. So,
You did a good job.
thank you.
I'm gonna call you up if you want to come down. Yep.
Where to start? So Bobby,
No stories.
yeah, no stories. The
That
first-
story involves him, by the way.
Oh,
All of the bad stories develop.
we did have a great team. I was really fortunate to work with the team we had under Westerville. Yes, great team. But the first time I met Bobby, I was in Arctic going down Limington Ramble. I see, no stories. I seen you as a trans supervisor. I don't know what you're doing, but you were down there with Jamie and the rest of them. You had a black Mando type sweater on, and your peppered hair. And I remember saying, I want to be like you. Right? One day, I want to be like you. And sure as heck, a couple weeks later, I was driving around 62 on Rice Street, and someone spat on me. And Bobby showed up and provided your support, and I can tell he genuinely cared for me. And then a few years down the line, I got promoted as a district supervisor, and who's my mentor? Bob. 3 years after that, I got promoted as assistant transportation manager. Who's my mentor? Bobby. So, we've been through a lot together. I'm really gonna miss you. You've always been a teacher to me. You really cared for me. I love that you always looked out for me. Every time you came in, you would give me breakfast bagels. I really miss those. You always thought about me.
McDonald's breakfast
Yeah.
bagels, if you've not had them, we're
Always
gonna
thought
try
about me, all the time. And, there's a Chinese saying that, you know what, when you honor your teacher, you honor yourself. So I want to say thank you. I want to, really honor you. This is also a story too. I'll let you tell this story, but I got you some chopsticks.
Okay.
But as a gift for chopsticks, the saying goes that when someone gives you chopsticks, they wish you a very long, happy life. So, to honor you, and I just want to say thank you, and I love you a lot. And to honor you today, I'm really going to try to eat with chopsticks. So I got my one. But if it doesn't work, guess what? It's also a fork.
All right, we're going to talk this story about chicken and chopsticks. So, we're me, him, and Danielle. Where are you, Danielle?
Right here.
So, all three of us are Asian, and we went out for lunch because we were district supervisors. We needed our lunch break. So Danielle goes, we're going to what's it, noodles?
Yeah.
There are noodles and curry. Danielle gets up, grabs her food, grabs some chopsticks, sits down. I order my food, grab it, grab some chopsticks, sits down. Chang orders his food, grabs his food, and grabs a fork. And we all sit down, and Danielle and I look at each other, and then look at him, and he goes, my parents never taught me how to use chopsticks. I'm like, let me get this right. I'm only half Asian, know how to use chopsticks. Danielle's full Asian, knows how to use chopsticks. You're the only one that was full Asian, raised by 2 Asians, and he didn't know how to use chopsticks.
That's America.
So that is the only good story that I can actually talk about in front of everybody here. The rest of the stories are probably censored for this gathering.
Everybody say, oh.
What a group.
Hello, yeah, this was one of the best managers I've everyone. And, it was like, I remember times years ago where you used to go into a manager's office and you could work out issues with the managers. Okay, manager chair. Where it was like the people who sat behind the desk that you reported to was getting their orders from someplace else, and there was nothing they could do. So it's I was known to argue all the time, constantly, because I wore that suit, I drove that bus, and when we first started, they had a commercial that was out, that was buses in my office and this and another. But then we started getting more and more people in the company that never drove the bus. They ended up being managers. They was telling us how to drive the bus or how to act in our office, But with Bobby, when I first had dealings with Bobby, I started finding out that it was a different type of story. That he cared about the drivers. We all say operators, I always say drivers. And you could work with him. And I'm not saying that he did us favors. But he was fair.
Oh, no.
He would sit down there, he would tell you why he was going to make this decision and why he wasn't going to make the decision. And at one time, I got real sick, and I had an issue with a liver problem, and we used to sit down and talk about it. And Bobby told me one time, he said, man, he says, just take care of yourself and stuff, and be careful about what you do. And he was telling me about sepsis. And he was saying that his mom passed away with sepsis. And I said, I better go check this out again, and found out that I was going through sepsis. And when I finally got out the hospital and did all this stuff, and got through with all those problems, I go to the doctor for my closeout. Then the doctor told me, he said, I wouldn't expect to ever see you come back. And one of the reasons why all of this came through is because Bobby was telling me, how to go through some of this stuff. And he cared about us. And all the operators that came in, they cared about Bobby. And if they sat around, Bobby would come in the driver's room and everybody felt like it was family. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We got enough problems out in the street. We don't need to come in here to have issues. This is supposed to be our safe zone. We come in here and it's get to the point where it's like you run in here and then you got to grab your stuff and run out because you're scared somebody's gonna call you in and say, hey man, customer called up and said that you did this. They can call up and say anything. But my point is, he was a pleasure to work with. He's a better person than he was a manager. But I still think he was a great man. But I love this guy, and he means the world to me. I tell that.
So 10 years ago, this guy came up to me at Haywood and said, hey, I got a proposition for you. And I said, Bobby, I'm a married man. He didn't know. No, I'm not good enough for you, huh? While John Cook stood behind him crying, laughing, he said, I want you to be an instructor. That was 10 years ago. What the heck, why not? So, and work on the Workman. And when Steve left, I kind of did a little the acting coordinator. When this came up to open his garage, he came and sat down and goes, listen, he goes, I want you to help open up North Loop. And I went, you got your 11 month. But you know what? I said, all right, I'll do it with you. And I can't tell you the number of days, hours we sat in that war room. And we call it a war room because it had 4 walls of everything that needed to be done in the garage. And I'm talking, we think of the littlest things and put it on this wall. And anybody that was the manager at Haywood knew what that wall was all about. How he did it, well, I know how he did it. He did it because he had a great team and he believed in his team. And that's the big thing, you know what, when you have someone who believes in you and says, you know what, you do what you gotta do, because I know you can do it. It was a lot of work, but I tell you what, to see what happened when we opened this garage and how seamless it opened up, it was amazing. And it's all about the team, and I'm gonna miss our morning chats. We want to change a lot of the world's problems, the company's problems, I'm gonna miss those. But I can't thank you enough for being a leader. You are the best leader. It's a testament that everybody's here. So, congratulations.
When I came to Northwood, I was a mess. I was forced here. I didn't trust anybody, didn't want to be here. But this man saw me sitting alone and came up and invited me into his office. I was like, what? He takes me back here and he says that he thought that maybe I didn't like him. I said, it's not about you. I just don't trust management. I just don't. And he says, please, give me a chance. And anytime there was a problem, he fixed it. And he did it like that. And he's always been there. I have never, ever loved working in a place like I love being here.
When I started 9 years ago, I was at Rooter Garage, and I couldn't find my car keys. I lived off of Butler Boulevard in 63rd, so I walked, 4 miles to get to the garage. It was my first day at garage level training, so nobody knew me. I didn't know anybody.
First day.
First day, yes. I'm on the Xerxes Bridge. Jerry is not out here, but he drove by me and stopped, backed up, and he's like, are you Jessica? Like, yes. I couldn't find my car keys, and my feet are killing me because I hadn't worn my shoes, and I got huge blisters on my feet. So I got to the garage, and Bobby was my manager, and they didn't give me no currents or anything. They were just impressed that I walked 4 miles.
Just so you guys, there's some reference here. The weather sucked. The weather was absolutely horrendous, and she still got there. She walked on her own. There was no way in hell that I was going to, discipline somebody who really, really wanted to work, did everything she could to get there on time. I don't think she was that late.
45 minutes compared to an hour.
And we had no operators. We had 0 operators.
Right.
We need you. Let's get you all into the bus. Let's worry about the occurrences later. And it was amazing. It was amazing that she had that dedication on day 1.
Well, then, 8 years later, I'm at Danielle's office, and I hear, hey, Jessica, come into Bobby's office. I'm like, okay. And then I go in there, and I have Bobby, Scott, and Jerry, and they're like, well, we're going through people who think would be a really good relief instructor. And you were at the top of the list. I was like, okay, first when I walked in there, Bobby's like, got his hands across his chest, like frowning at me. I'm like, did I do something wrong? And then all 3 of them started laughing. But I just want to say thank you for having the faith in me to become an instructor. I didn't know I was going to be able to do it, but I love it, and thank you for the opportunity. And I'm
Bobby, you have been such a tremendous friend and a push for me to keep going. I just always look up to you for the move that you made. I followed and I tried to get in your footsteps. I haven't
come back to you yet, but one day.
But you have been such an inspiration to a lot of people that started in this space. You can see how far you can go in this company and to still have friends and relationships with everybody that you come in contact with. I just want to thank you for always saying yes. I asked for a lot, so on the record, can we use Northwood February 28th?
Not your manager.
Nice try.
I'm not actually.
Bobby, if you're not manager, you shouldn't be wearing your lanyard.
No, no.
No, don't take it off. No.
If you guys know Bobby, if you walk into his office and stuff is gonna get real, he takes his lanyard off and this is when it's gonna get real. He's like, I'm not your manager right now.
So that's right.
Alright, Bobby, I will try to say this without There's a story there.
There's a long story there after this.
He can tell it if he wants. But, back when I was probably only 2 years in, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something with a street supervisor. And he gets a note because he's my transportation manager at the time. And he goes, don't worry, I'm longtime friends with this guy and nobody messes with my drivers. So thanks. And it's been 11 and a half years and, you know, you've always shown up.
Well, one more story about her is that, latest.
Okay.
We, she announced me, as soon as I found out who it was and how critical it was that I be there. I dumped everything, got safety specialist at the time it was Earl, Earl and I went to the accident and she sees me and she just starts crying. And she goes, like, why are you here? I'm like, I heard about the accident. I want to make sure you're okay, make sure that everything's fine. And she goes, I always thought you hated people. Because, you know, that's not it. It's not true. I might come across sometimes as a little stern or terse. But you know that, you know, all the people here that support you and love you and they'll still be here.
He's not gonna tell the truth. But I met Bobby. I came to Haywood, leaving East Metro about 2008. And when I came to the garage, you know, somebody wanted to stay on the radar. They wanted, you know, come in, do the work. I stayed with drivers and everything when we had a driver's home. And Bobby's my manager. Andress was my manager at East Metro, came to Haywood. And the nosy person that Bobby is,
Whatever.
in the driver's room, I always thought he was cool as dude, because, you know, Bobby's an energizer bunny, he's walking like this. He's not going, he's here at the job, I'm like, where's this man going? He's going to his office. But every time he leaves, he's always on the move, he's always doing something. And then one of the days he comes up to the driver's room, Dimitri. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I went to the room, sit down, and he says, what do you want to do here? I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, what do you want to do about your family? I said, about being instructed. He said, okay. This is where he's not going to tell the truth. He said, your record's horrible. What are you talking about? You got 6 attorneys. He said, you want to do anything you guys. I said, Bobby, the record doesn't show me where I really am. I said, when's my last occurrence? He said, today. I said, well, next year I'll have 0 occurrences. Right? The year passes, 0 occurrences. I said, Bobby, the point is, he came to me personally and said, what do you want to do and help me get there and get it right? And in that time, my mother passed away. And he showed up to my mom's funeral. That's what I'll tell you. There you go. He showed up to my mom's funeral. There you go.
he's a dying breed when it comes to ATMs and management, because he looks out for the drivers and he sees something in you, and he'll come to you. He'll use some choice words. I didn't say what he said, but when you get to the bottom, you know, he'll keep it, as we say, 100. And after that progression, Cook had a lot to do with that. And then I'm an instructor. You know, I become a union rep. When I'm a bus driver first, my mentor was this guy. There we go. Yeah, my mentor was Dixon. So Bobby got me into being instruction, and then I'm a union rep, and now we fight on the other side. I'm like, whoa, but we worked it out. But in that course of this, I can always go to his office and always talk to him, and we can keep it personal and keep it real 100 sometimes. And, you know, I feel he's done a lot for me. So, you know, I'm gonna give you yours right here. I love you, Bobby.
And somebody make way for Jeff Wasko, too, in the back of the room.
Are you kidding me? Come on, Wasko, get up here. Are you kidding me?
He was the first table. I know.
I see you now, Jeff. Get up here.
You can't hide.
Yeah, he was there. He managed him. You're okay, Bobby. Wow. That's good. 10 years.
I remember him. There you go. All right, he's in full form. You're in full form.
I don't know why he gave me the mic. I didn't have a speech prepared. All I know is that this was quite a ride for Bobby and I when he first started.
Oh, please don't tell the story.
I'll be good with this. I always knew this guy had the right character to do this job. It's more than discipline, it's more than just heart. You have to find the balance of both. I knew Bobby had it. He did from the beginning. It was a matter of convincing him to give him the courage and I guess the self-recognition that he could actually do the job. He had to have confidence in himself. Obviously, he found that. He's done well. He's here today. He's run this operation, and he's done a great job. I'm proud of him, and I wish him well for the future.
I didn't say anything about Jeff.
Tell the story.
I'm not telling the story.
Yeah, you should tell that one.
So, everyone has one person who believed in them and really felt like believing in them. And I can honestly say, Jeff believed in me, and I obviously felt that he trusted me and guided me as he could. And he is by far the one person who really pushed me hard, got me to where I am. Without Jeff, I wouldn't be here right now.
I think he has a misconception, or he doesn't recall correctly how he really loved MJR. You know, I mean, he come dancing in the door every morning.
Is that what you called it?
So anyway, we have the best managers over there, and there's one of them sitting right there, love her too. And we lost one manager, Frank Stump, a few years back. A friend of mine decorated his door during his illness when he was out for Christmas. Well, so one day, Bobby, you know, when he wants to see in his office, he goes like this. Well, you know, then you go the other way. You know? I went in there and it was, you know, he's so emotional. You know, he has the correct read on emotions. He's very good with them. And we need more people like that. And you know, he's trying to relay a message from Frank to us, how, you know, what that meant to him. That, you know, personal. You know, and I really appreciate that. It was really a great act of kindness she did. So I just wanted to let people know about that.
Tell the story, Dee
John.
No. One of those not appropriate for work stories.
No, that was actually appropriate. That was a fake story. The fire department.
What I was thinking about.
I'm not.
Okay, now we have to hear it.
Okay, I gotta tell the story now. So, at Hayward Garage, we are, sorry Jeff, we are doing employee recognition, operator recognition day. We are in Cheney's office. We are in the hallway preparing food. I'm out cooking pancakes. Just in the back. For some reason, he chooses Cheney's office to cook bacon. All of a sudden, well, first of all, the sprinkler system is right above Cheney's desk. Fire alarm goes off. Fire department comes right over here. Get in the building. We let them in the back door. There's smoke everywhere. There's no fire, of course, but we start to evacuate the building. We're driver appreciation day. It's like 30 minus 15 outside or so. But everything worked out. It's a funny story, but not the story he's thinking of.
That story I can't tell.
Would anyone else like to come up and provide some words? I was wondering when you were going to come up. You kicked my man canister over.
Oh, I know. Bobby.
David.
So, Bobby came into my life. I was a transit supervisor then, and you were a new hire, and I was your mentor. And Bobby had the privilege of outing me to the world, because he was out, I was not. I was still married to a woman.
I assumed he was out.
So I'm like, Bobby, why do you have to do that to me? So we got through that hurdle quite well. I was the invisible fourth person at the chopstick story. We were at the Asians over at on the east side. Yeah, I was there. That was rather ironic. We didn't change home. I thought, hey, I know how to use chopsticks. I'm Scandinavian. Come on, get in the program here. But Bobby, you have been a testament to obviously everybody in the room here. Your contributions are not just in flesh and blood and emotion. It's also in brick and mortar. Your contributions to the annex, what you've done here. I know firsthand that when he had an issue with a driver and I was part of the disciplinary chain, and he called me up and called in his office where he and I could close the door and drop, F-bombs. I'm retired, I'm sorry. Got a few F-bombs and then share with each other a practical solution that was wherever Jeff is, that represented that balance of heart, but also discipline and business. And Bobby, you contribute so much here, and I just want to wish you the best. Retirement is wonderful. It's going to take you probably a lot longer than me. I was born for retirement, so I wish you the best of luck, brother.
Oh boy.
I don't know what to say. I don't have a lot of stories to tell, but I just had to be here.
I'm so happy to be.
I don't come back too many times with people, but this one here made me come back. And I just want to say I love you. It's been a great family, even though
We had a moment.
moments. But I love you. And that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. You're afraid. You're afraid.
This is trouble.
Appropriate stories, John. Appropriate stories.
I have tons of stories.
Appropriate stories, John.
Well, those ones aren't fun.
They will be appropriate.
long time ago, far, far away. Actually, it was a different garage 20 plus years ago.
That's an appropriate story.
So, I'm in my office, and I hear barking of a orders operator. I'm like, what the hell? So I walk out, and I see this skinny little nerd-looking supervisor out there, walking around barking and saying, he's got to do this detour, this detour. And like immediately said, I can't do it. He's like, you know, he's like a little minion running around. We introduced each other. And over time, even with Mr. Hansen back there, we created a lot of different stories that actually can't be shared. However, Bobby was a great street supervisor. And then he became an ATM. And I had the privilege of working with him. We had a great team with Shane, TV, down at the Brown. Bobby, Jeff, who am I forgetting? Anyway, all of them, including. So we had a great team. And we had a lot of fun. We worked together, everything else. And we had a great garage. And that's where I met, truly got to know Bobby. He's my little brother. I love him dearly. We hang a lot. He had a bucket list thing, and I said, okay, road trip. So basically, I called him at 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, road trip. He and I and Brad got in the car, and we drove from North Dakota.
I've never been to North Dakota.
So we drove to North Dakota. It was the day that it changed 4 times with the weather. So we had sun and warm, the sleet, the snow, blizzard conditions going up. We found this German restaurant out there, had a wall, ate, turned around, we drove back in it, same conditions.
Same day.
Same day.
Went for lunch and came back.
Went to Fargo for lunch. But anyways, long story short, Bobby, he built this place. This is his legacy right here. He was in it from day one. He did a hell of a job. And I love him dearly. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Barbara. She ran away.
Over there.
So the reason I call Barbara up here is everyone has the one story they're never going to forget, one story where it really made a difference. And she's the one story for me. Any of details? So, for those that don't know, Barbara was a deputy on the bus. And she did everything that she was supposed to do, everything she was trained to do, and the police were able to follow her just by doing exactly what she was supposed to do. And trying to get somebody back into the driver's seat after so traumatic. And knock it down was hard, but she was incredible. She came back, we sat down, we talked about it, we talked about what needed to get done, what we could do to support her. Ultimately, we had district supervisors out on the street with her, following her, as control center supervisors, calling her at every terminal, calling her along the way. We had safety specialists boarding her bus in plain clothes, assistant transportation managers boarding the bus, riding with her, and now she's one of our best dispatchers in the system.
she's mine for another hour or two. But I need to thank Barbara for, you talking about it.
Well, Bobby helps me in every possible way that I can think of, and I probably would have quit that if it wasn't for Bobby, because I did not want to step foot in on any Metro Transit bus, any property whatsoever. But with the support from Bobby, I was able to do it. I come back day after day, even though I probably should have took more time off. I made it through. And I thank you, Bobby, for helping me.
I made Bobby come up for Ken. So Ken, you already paid for it.
Anything planned, but there's
Neither did I, sister.
There's so many things that I could say that are wonderful about Bobby. But when I think about some of the things that you've done for me, I was assistant at Haywood with you. We were working on the bill here. For some reason, it was an afternoon, and I was the only manager there. And a really serious situation happened. Everybody had gone home. Second floor is calling me. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm thinking it's going to be a really long day. Like, how am I going to deal with this? And as I'm working at my office, I turn and look up at my door, and you were standing there. You came back to work because you didn't want to leave me alone. So I thank you for that. This shows the kind of person that you are and all the people that are here. I love you.
Get him on. This is going to be embarrassing, right?
If I wasn't to come up here, I don't know if I'll get through this. Yeah, everyone said everything that can be said about Bobby. Wow, we go back a long ways, brother. And saying it, we always keep in touch. But a true, genuine human being that has the compassion and the care for absolutely everybody, no matter what. No matter what. Yeah, I really appreciate everything you've done for me.
Not George.
Beat you to the drum.
I'll wait.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Driver, 289, retired in 2019. I've known Bobby since he came to the company, since he showed up in the transportation part. I know that sometimes he can come across as a little short, but really super good guy. I was an instructor and he was our manager in instruction for a little while. We would sit and problem solve and come up with good solutions all the time. And I'm glad that all these people are here for it, because this is proof of what a great person you are and the effect you've had on everybody here. So congratulations on your retirement. You deserve this. I'm glad to see an example of the impact you've had on everybody here. So we're going to miss you. I hope our paths cross. Oh, one interesting thing. My wife and I were traveling, and maybe you remember the location. I was at an airport, my wife and I were changing flights, and I'm sitting there reading, and my peripheral vision, I see this figure walk over and stop. And I look over and it's Bobby. I thought, what are you doing here? And you were on changing flights. I remember where that is. I was telling my wife about that the other day, but that you come over at another stage of an airport and say hi is just really remarkable. I've never forgotten that. So always loved who you are. You're a great person. Sorry to see you go, but you really deserve a good, long, healthy retirement. So I wish you all the best. Thanks.
you guys don't understand who Bobby is to me. He's my support system, he's a good friend. I went through some hard, struggling times with divorce and loss, and I'm telling you, Bobby, he was there. And Bobby is very resilient. Everybody here knows that. I was in the control center one day, just standing out, just getting some fresh air. And I saw Bobby going from the Haywood building to the parking lot. And you know, he was going through a lot. He drug himself to work every day. And the resilience, and I don't think he's coming to work. He's coming to work to support us here. And he's a very generous person, very generous person. So Bobby means a lot to me. I am going to try to make him as proud as I can in my next endeavors. From MJR to Haywood to Bruder to TCC to management, Bobby has had his hands in what I'm doing and influence and just in communicating and showing me different things and talking to me about things and teaching me how to, okay, think out of the box. And I'm a very creative person. Anybody knows me, I come up with stuff quickly and I'm always eating, coming up with creative foods and stuff like that. Bobby has influenced me a lot along the way, and I want to thank you personally, Bobby, in front of everybody. You're my rich Asian uncle. We're gonna have some fun. I was adopted back in 2013. Put that out there right now. Bobby, I love you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for being the face of transit. And I personally love you.
This is the baritone people.
Bobby, congratulations. I almost missed this. And somebody sent me this notice. And I had put it on my calendar, I thought. But since I'm so technologically challenged, someone had to remind me. So I threw this stuff on and just came down here. Because this man here, all the years I've been here since '87, okay? And I've never known a manager like this person. I've seen how he's treated other drivers. He's fair, he's real, and he's very patient with you. And he tries to help. He's a helper. And he's got a lot of love in his heart. And I love you. Never told you that before. Bobby, you're my favorite. All these years. It's you.
All right, it's getting to be about time to eat now. But before we go, I just want to share one other story. Uh-oh. No, it's okay. You can stand up. And I'm going back to some of the things people have already said about Bobby. And I mentioned dedication before. The man risked his sight to come to work. But this is after North was built. He put his heart and soul into this building. He loved it so much. We had a hailstorm. He's at home eating dinner. I come over to check. I'm on my way out. No, actually, control center called and said they had a leak in the building. So I come over to check. Bobby calls me and says, yeah, I'm going down to North to check on the leak. I said, I already checked, Bobby. It's just a window. Before I could get my stuff packed up and make sure the building was okay, Bobby was in the building checking. He doesn't own this place, but he kind of does. This is Bobby's place. He loves it here. He loves the people here. And everybody here loves him. It's been said over and over today. He's going to be missed, but not really, because we know exactly where to reach out to him and find him. Thank you, Bobby, for your service. All right. If you want pictures, you might not get any because you still got a lot of pictures to take over there. Bar, you want to come? Oh, I thought you wanted to say something.
I guess if you call me out, right?
You're pointing to yourself. So.
No, I was scratching my shoulder. I was sitting up here scratching my shoulder, right? I had a big itch, but I'm a spiritually led person, so evidently if you called me up, it was meant for me to come. Bobby is somebody in my life that everywhere I look, somehow, some way, he's there. On the airport platform, in the street somewhere. For a moment, I thought he was the feds, and I'm like, I don't do anything wrong. So, is there something going on? Metro Transit got me under investigation for something I did, wrong turn or something, you know? But from time to time, I would end up bumping into Bobby, and he will always have good words of wisdom for me. And he had some good words of wisdom for a situation I was contemplating about making a move. And I took those words and applied it to my life, and it's been a plus for me. So, and it shows in everybody that's here, no matter how long you've been here, whether you've been here for 20 years or whether you've been here for 2 months, this person right here has made an impact on many of us. And I appreciate that. I honor you for the person that you are. I'm glad spiritually was put in my life for being everywhere that I pretty much am for some odd reason. Because that's like an angel. You know, I do look at people when they enter my life. It's like an angel. So evidently you became an angel in my life, and I appreciate that. And I honor you, and I want to say congratulations.
One more round of applause before we cut the cake.
Bye.